Hello everyone, it has been a long time since I have jumped on and done a video. Now that I'm working full-time, it's been crazy, but I did get some new things in and I wanted to share them with you. So today you will see me use this cute little punch from Stampin' Up!, the Humble Home that coordinates with it, and a little bit of this embossing plate so that you can utilize your stamps with your matching punches to get a lot out of them. And you know you have it when you walk away from this video feeling motivated and energized and have a couple ideas with some different techniques and ways that you can use your stamps and punches. Right, if you would like anything that I am using, please go visit my Stampin' Up! Link provided for you down below. It has everything there. And on November 13th, there is a really good sale going on with bundles. And I believe these two may be bundled together. I could be wrong, but might be. I am also going to be using some other things in my stash just because I need to use them up. So one of the things I'm going to use is these little cards, and they have a little scalloped edge. I have to tell you, I'm not loving them. They're really hard to line up in my MISTI, and I need to use them up. So that's why I'm using them. But you can find these at Michael's. And then I'll leave for you a scrapbook.com link down below as well for any of the other things that may be miscellaneously coming through that I'm using in this video. But hopefully, maybe, not hopefully, I mean, maybe you have what I have here and you won't need all that, the links, who knows? But if you do, if you help me out, shop mine, that'd be great. So the first thing I wanted to share with you was this cute little stamp set, and how I store this stamp set, all my stamps, is I actually take them off of their liner and I put them on the pictures here. And the reason why I do that is so that I know at the end of my stamping session, I have all of my stamps back together. One of the questions I get a lot of is, how do you stamp that? Like, do you stamp first and then you punch it? Do you punch first and then you stamp it? It's like, did the chicken come before the egg? Or, you know, that conversation. I'm going to show you my little trick right now. And I already have some ready to go. So I just punched this out on some good cardstock. And from there, I punch first. With that cardstock that I used, I laid it in my MISTI, and I really like this sticky piece that I have here. And as you can tell, I have a couple of them already lined up because I have been working with this. And so what I do is I just open it up. I make sure that this is down in that corner, okay? Then what I do is I already have this stamp being used, this section. So I am going to use this one right here. And I just take my stamp out. And then I pop it in first. I make sure that it's in there. And one way you can do that is you could actually like lift the whole thing up, put the stamp in, and then drop it in. But since I already have some right here, I don't want to do that because my placement could mess it up for those, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to make sure that that's over in the corner, and I'm going to kind of move this around, make sure I have it in the right spot. Then I just take my MISTI, and I am going to pick it up. Okay. Now from here, you can drop in, excuse me, I did that too quickly, didn't I? That's okay. You can drop in your punched set, your punched little guy. I got to tell you, so funny. When I did this at first, I was trying to put it in here. I'm like, oh, did I stamp it? Did I punch it backwards? Does this punch not work? No. Turn the cutout over. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was having one of those kind of moments. Just so you don't feel entirely alone if you have those kind of moments too. So for this particular one, I am actually going to emboss. And the reason why I'm embossing is because by embossing, it creates a really nice edge, like a lip. And so when you go and color it in, you are more inclined to stay within the lines. This is a fantastic little powder pillow. I love these, really important for embossing because it keeps that moisture off where you don't want it, which can cause your embossed images to end up looking not so hot. And then from here, I am just using an embossing and watermark. This is not the best that I've used. It's not the worst, but you know what? It's what I have on hand. And I am all about using what I have on hand right now. So if you have any kind of embossing ink, clear, I like clear because I always like to emboss in black. That's just been kind of my thing that I enjoy doing because that's what I usually am coloring on. Now, I don't want to schmuck this up, so I am just going to take my tweezers and kind of pull it out just like that. And you can't see it, but it's there. Okay, now from here, now I can leave this all in here because I'm going to be working with this. I'm going to show you a couple different things you can do with it. I'm going to set this off to the side, and I'm going to do this with you. I've actually had people say, hey, how do you know it's embossed? How do you know it's done? So we're going to do the whole process together, and that way you can see how long it takes. And if by chance you're like, you know what, I'm good on this, then you can simply just fast forward the video until I'm done. But for those of you that are not familiar with embossing, because perhaps you're new to crafting, this is how you do it. You want to have something that is a catch-all, and you're going to be generous with your embossing powder. Doesn't matter if you have a little bit left over, because all you're going to do is you could just take that and boom, bada bing, bada boom. You just put it back into your container. And then now you have it again. So you can empty, oftentimes I will empty the entire jar on my project because, well, it's okay. I mean, I'm going to save it anyway. So it's not a bad thing to do. All right. You also don't need to have this little Duma Flunky. I like it, and you can find it at lots of different places. You can use just a piece of paper and tilt that piece of paper back in, like fold it back in and put it back in, and that'll work. So from here, I want to get the powder shining. Once it is shiny, it is embossed. And basically all embossing powder is, I think, is it's just little bitsed up fine powdered plastic, and it just has to melt, and then you get that shiny that shiny aspect to it. And now from here, you can go ahead and color it in. If you are using alcohol markers, do not use your embossing with it. I've had bad experiences with that. Not saying it's always going to be bad, but especially if you use a pigmented ink and then embossing powder over it, there's a good chance that your alcohol ink will pick up on that and you'll ruin the nub. So always use a safe memento pad. That's my favorite with alcohol ink, but that's not what we're doing today. I'm going to show you two techniques to color this in. First technique is with the Stampin' Right pins. Any kind of water-based dye ink will work with this technique, and you can go on in, you know, and just color it in. And since it does supply a nice little line that's lifted, it stays within the lines really nicely. And so you can go ahead and just use your markers, any kind of marker, or what I like to do that's even better, and you're gonna see me do this technique a couple times today, or twice, probably not a couple, is I like to take my ink pad, and so I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. Nah. I'm going to use Pretty in Pink. And I like to use it as paint. So what I do is I just take and smoosh. That's plenty, so much plenty. Then I take my water, and the more water you add, the more washed down and lighter the color will be. So I'm gonna add quite a bit of water into this. And then I'm just going to take a paintbrush, and literally I can just paint it in. Okay, so I'm kind of moving that around a little bit here, and then I can just go ahead and paint that onto my little house, and it'll stay pretty well in the lines. I mean, if I get super sloppy with it, then it's gonna go everywhere, but for the most part it stays right where it needs to be. And again, if I wanted to make it lighter, I could add a little bit more water to it, and so on. So you get how that works, okay? I don't really want to lose that, so I am going to go ahead and just, I'm just gonna, oh, that's pretty. I'll do a wash with it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that dry. I have a little bit more, so I'm gonna take my other card that I had kind of started, and I'm just gonna do the same thing on with that. I just don't, I just didn't want to waste it, and there you go. So now pretty watercolor effect on that. Those obviously need to dry before I can move on from there. So I'm gonna set this off to the side for a moment, and we will go ahead and work with a couple of the other little houses in the set that I have. So I'm just gonna take my squeegee and wipe this up. Okay. And I do want to kind of dry that. One thing you want to do when you are drawing is you definitely want to flip it over and dry the other side, because since it's wet, it will leak through, and it'll keep seeping up and wetting the front. So you really want to go back and forth between the two. And this card base, you guys, I would recommend a heavier duty mixed media cardstock to do what I just did with picking up that water. It's not a very good card base. It's not good at all, in fact. But I'm gonna try to be gentle with it. And one of the things that I don't have anymore is my Heat It tool. It looked like a little mini blow dryer. I got it through a Ranger about 15, 16 years ago. and I really love it. But I donated all of my craft supplies when I moved out of my apartment into my house. Didn't think I'd get back into it. And that was one of the things that was donated. And I haven't been able to find it again. So if you guys know that Heat It tool that I'm talking about, if you can drop the link down below, or if you can say, oh yeah, I saw it at such and such, please do so, because I have not seen it anywhere. And ooh, that's still wet. And I really would like to get it again. Embossing tools, this is why I don't like to use embossing tools for this, because it definitely causes your paper to curl, and it's just too intense of a heat in one spot. The other one, it's like it's a wider tip, and it's hot, and like I have a couple blow dryers for my hair, but that doesn't work either because it's not quite hot enough. So I don't really like to use those either. I would like my Heat It tool back again. All right, so I'm gonna set that off under something heavy, hopefully, so that I can get those done. Then I'm gonna show you how I ended up stamping these. So I have this little guy right here, and this set comes with this piece and this piece. And so again, I'm just gonna pop in this like so. Make sure that it's down there. I already have this done. This is really fantastic for like your mass stamping, to do this technique. If you just line everything up, right? Okay. And I love the red brick. I mean, the orange brick is pretty stinking cute too, and you'll see that shortly. But for this, I really like this red brick. I think it's so fun. Okay, and then try not to get the other pieces around me inked up. Okay, so now I'm gonna just take this. This is a freaking lifesaver. You don't need this. You could get an eraser, like an expo eraser, if you're a teacher like me, and do this. It would do the same thing. But this is really nice to have. Okay, and so there's this. Now I'm gonna take and pop it out. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it over on this one, right? Pop this one on in. And then I just want to clean this off really quickly. In the back, I am taking my water and my little squeegee. All right, there we go. All right, and then I'm going to take, so the red that I used was Poppy Parade. And now I want to take and use Berry Burst for this part up here. Okay. All right. Make sure that's all pulled over. And then boom. All right, so that's how you can line up your little houses or anything really. If you're using a coordinated die, or I should say a coordinated stamp and punch. That's how I like to stamp my punches, is by dropping it in that way. All right, so from here I am gonna put this, I'm not done, but I just don't wanna lose my pieces. I'm gonna show you something else that you can do with this set, and that is a layering technique. So I need to take this out, obviously, save that for later. And then this is coming up. because I'm going to pop a card base in. Now, this piece right here, this is a sticky piece by My Sweet Petunia for your Misty. I really, really like it. And the cool thing is you can get a ton of use out of it by just like washing it with light soapy water and letting it air dry, and then it's like as good as new again. So I'm really loving that piece because it is holding everything in nicely. I am going to have to wash it again because I do have some of that powder down, but this should work for what I want to do now with you. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I took my masking paper and my punch, and I punched out a shape like this. And I'm going to take a card base and I'm going to just put it in my Misty. Like so. And then I am going to use the magnet. You really don't have to, but I'm going to. And then from here, I'm just going to take my little house and I'm going to line it up like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take just a good old-fashioned regular black ink for the sake of TV, for the sake of YouTube, because I'll color this in later, but I just want to give you kind of an idea of how this is going to work. And then from here, oh, you know what? No, that's not what I want to do. All right. I'm going to use this in a minute. I actually want to do my bricks first, and then that. Haha. So I'm going to take this one first. Okay. Now I'm with it. Now I'm with it. And I am going to, let's do the orange this time. Let's do that. So this will be the little roof, and then this will be the bricks. Okay. All right, so this little guy, right, just gonna lay this down, apply even pressure all over. Okay, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Now I am going to take my hopefully you don't see my hair, but you may. I'm going to take this little guy and I'm going to stamp this out. All right, so I'm going to use pumpkin pie for this one. So that was peach, this is pumpkin. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Want it a little darker, so I'm going to go one more time over it, like so. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. All right. See how cute that is so far? But we are not done yet. I lost my, oh, there it is. My rag. Here it is. Okay. Now I am going to take, and I'm going to kind of let that ink set in for a minute. Because it is a dye water-based ink, so it does need to dry a little bit, but once it dries, it's going to be good to go. So for this one, I'm gonna want, yeah, and then this side too. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the doors come off. So, okay. So now I'm gonna take my mask and I am going to apply my mask. Oh, and you know what? I cut that wrong. I needed to punch it so that it masked it like this. So let me do that one more time. Well, I guess this is good because you get to see this one. So I want it to have the sticky side so that it's that way. Let me see if I did it right this time. Yes, because I'm going the opposite direction of the other one. Okay, so I'm going to take it. Okay, all right. Punches beautifully. Actually, kind of glad that I had to show that to you. To store these, all you got to do is just take that. Voila. All right. Then, now, I'm going to take this, and this is the hardest part. Not so hard. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to cover my house entirely with my masking tape. So the image that you want to be on the forefront of your, take center stage of your picture, needs to be stamped first. Now I'm going to go back through here and I am going to stamp this one. I'm going to do this one in that all-purpose ink. I know that I can color on this. I'm not probably going to finish this card with you. I will finish it and post it on Instagram, but it's just, you know, for the sake of time. So there's this one here. Okay. Now I'm going to lay it out on the other side. So, oh, good thing I didn't have to redo that because I did not do a very good job getting that clean. Shame on me. All right, now we're gonna lay this one out like so. Okay. I'm gonna use legitimate cleaner that time, but we're not done yet. I want to stamp a sentiment on this. Okay. So for the sentiment, let's do, oh, you know what I have? I can do this. I have this little guy that I can do with love and gratitude. So let me show you what this looks like now that this is done. So I'm going to put this one back on in here. And pop this up. I know I need to use that with this. And then voila. So I will finish this up, post it, and if you notice, it's a little bit off on the bottom. I also have a little bit of black ink that I'm not real happy with. So I'm gonna put, this is probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna end up coloring in the background ones. I'm gonna pop this down like this, and then I'm gonna take one of these sweet little hearts and I'm gonna put it right there in the middle on a pop dot, and I'll probably color that red. And then there we go. Okay, so you kind of see where I'm going with that. All right, the next one that I wanted to show you was something else you can do, and I'm not going to do it with you right now, is you can take this, so you could stamp this out And you could take this piece right here. So don't do this piece, don't do this piece. Stamp this, take and punch this out. And then you can stamp on that piece for the top and then do this. Well, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it, okay? We're gonna do it. So you can see what I'm talking about. So you can make a different kind of house because there's a couple different options with this, and I really am loving, I really am enjoying this Humble Home set. I think it's pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my paper, make sure that that'll fit. It does. And I am going to punch one of these out. I am using a smooth cardstock that is made for stamping. If your stamped images are not coming out well, or your paper is crumbling, it's because your quality of the paper probably is not that great. So I always encourage people to use a nice quality paper. All right, now from here, whoopsie, I need this. Okay. So I'm gonna take this one right here, and I'm going to pop this in. And don't worry, like I'm gonna freak out because it's gonna, I probably put it in backwards. I did. No worries. Just gonna turn it over. Just gonna turn it over. It's fine, okay? Then I'm gonna take my roof and my chimney, and just gonna take, and that fits pretty good in there. Make sure that I have it lined up on the side, and it popped out, so get it back in there like so. Then I'm gonna grab this, and I'm going to take this one, pop it on in like so, and then I'm going to take my ink pad. I think I will do, yeah, I'll do this one. This is Berry Burst. I like it for a roof. I really need to get brown. I'm not a brown fan, so that's why I don't have brown, but I need it. Put that one back in, and then we are going to, whoop, like this. Okay, from here. Now I'm gonna take this little piece right here, and it's a little door and some cute little like bricky windows, and I'm gonna put it right about there. I'm gonna switch up the color. I think I want to do like a green. Yeah, we'll do Shy Shamrock. Okay, so for this one, have it right there. Pick it up like so. And then boom. And there we go. So really cute little house. I actually really like that house. I'm digging on it. It's super cute. That you can do. You could even do, oh gosh, now I'm gonna go crazy. I'm sorry. You're like, oh, Betsy, we've been on here for a half an hour. I know. Fast forward. For anything you don't want, just fast forward. So for this, I really want a wreath, you guys. I want a wreath. I want the wreath. So I'm gonna put the wreath right up there. Okay, do you mind? Do you mind if we stamp the wreath? All right, and I'm gonna do this in black because obviously I'm going to need to color it. So I'm gonna make sure that the ink that I use. My ink pad is good to go. And then I'll be able to color it. Oh my gosh, I love this. So cute. Oh, so cute. All right, now, so now you know that you can do 3 different types of houses. And I like these little houses because they can be for lots of different, you can do it for literally every single holiday and season. You know, here's one that you could do for fall. Here's one that you could do for like Christmas. That's Christmas. You could do one for Easter, springtime. You could do red, white, and blue for, you know, the summer, for 4th of July. There's so much. So really fun set, but we're not done yet. I wanted to do my little heart. I had it and now it's gone. Oh, I had such a good idea. Where did it go? It must have fallen out in all of my excitement. Well, that is unfortunate. So, that's okay. I will make do. All right, so this is this. I'll show you again the little houses as I kind of clean up. This one, I need to color that one in. This one. So a couple different varieties there that you can do with those houses. And then the other thing that's fun, and I really wanted to show you this with my heart. I must have dropped it in the process of this. It must have lost its stickiness and dropped. Bummer, bummer. I will find it eventually, but for now, I wanted to make a card. So instead of using those hearts that I had anticipated, I'm going to do something different. So I used this right here, which is a, I forgot the name of it. Is it corduroy? Linen? Anyway, I did a couple different runs with this. And so I have this that I want to use. And then let me see if, yeah, we're going to use this one for this. So I wanted to layer it up with a basic pink one at first, then put this Pretty Berry Burst cardstock down that I did the texture plate with, and then layer it with this. And then on top of that, I was going to stamp those hearts in different colors on here and make a card. Well, I can't find my heart, so it must have fallen out. I bet you anything that I got powder on it, because that will cause it not to be sticky. So I'm gonna have to find it. I will find it, but for now, I think what I'm gonna do instead is I have a couple of these hearts from my punch, and so that might be really cute to do, like the 3 little hearts across there, and a sentiment. So why don't we just do that? All right, so I think I want to use 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to do these in Melon Mango. Okay, so actually, I'm all over the place, aren't I? I'm just gonna take this and I am going to do my right with this tip and just there we go. I can just color it that way. Okay, so my whole intention was to show you how versatile the Humble Home stamp set is, and you could make this, you could make like a Valentine card with it using that heart, but obviously that's not what works. So we're just going to use the punches, and it's going to be dainty and cute. We're going to do dainty and cute. That'll work. Okay. All right. Again, if I'm boring you with some of this, just fast forward. Just fast forward through the good parts. It's funny because, like, I know that I'm not a taco and I can't make everybody happy, but I kid you not, it never fails. I like it when you show everything. Why didn't you show this? So, you know, just do what you need to do, and you know, we'll call it good. Because I can't make everybody happy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the sentiment on this one here, and I think I'll do the sentiment in black just for some grounding. All right, so I'm gonna get this back in, and then I'm gonna do it right about here. And the sentiment that I want to do is going to be, I kind of want to just do home, but that's weird. We will do for the sweet little gift, and then on the inside, we'll write thank you, right? So here we go. All right, so I'm gonna use my black again. Whenever you feel like things are getting too confusing on your art and you're like, I don't get it, what's wrong? Use a grounding color. Grounding colors are white or black. And so it'll help just get everything making sense, okay? So, gotta do that again. I need to re-ink this pad. I actually need to buy a new black ink pad. Okay. One of the things that I have made a point of with this, with getting back into crafting, is I don't want to just buy things to buy things and have things to have things. Like, they have to have purpose, and I have to use them. And I'm going to use them until they wear out. And when I'm done with something, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to sell it. And so that's kind of my attitude with a lot of this. So if you're interested in anything I'm using and you want to purchase off of me for 50% of what it is retail, let me know, because I might be willing to let it go. I'm not quite there yet with this, I don't think, but I will be shortly. I don't see myself playing much longer. I get my gist of it, and then I'm done. Okay, so we are going to take this, and from here I'm going to just start to layer it up. I'm going to get the card base done first, and then I'll put it on after I'm done. Okay, I get a little bit excited with my tape. You probably don't need as much as I use. I just said I was going to layer it all up first, and then what did I do? Okay, I guess I'm going to assemble it first. All right, so here we go with this. Now we're going to do this, and I know I'm using, you're like, Betsy, that's a lot of tape. I know it is, it's a lot of tape. I'm gonna do this kind of in the center here. Then I'm gonna do this one off over here. I would love to come on and just do these live, but I'm so sporadic with when I can film that I wouldn't be consistent. And I think that I would need to be consistent in order to do these lives. You know, I'd have to have a set time every day, or once a week, or whatever, twice a week. And I just don't know what that would look like. So, so I'm not doing a live, but I think that that would be fun. Tell me down below what you think about if I did a live, and what time you would be best for where you are. Again, I'm not a taco. I can't make everybody happy, but you know, it might be interesting to see. Okay, now, or just get some feedback on that. All right, now I am going to take my little pop dots. I love these little honeycomb pop dots that they have out. They are fantastic. They're such a good use of product. Like, you don't, a lot of times, I remember when the foamy dots used to come out, and they were, there was so much waste, and I would cut them down because I'm like, I'm not going to throw that all away. I need it. All right, so that's going to go there. Then we're going to do, and I have 2 cards I want to show you that I made in addition to these that I've worked on with you today, the end. So remember what I said at the beginning, that you would see the humble home, and how you can use it all together, and then how you could, I wanted you to be inspired to break out with some of your stamps and coordinating punches and create some cards. That was the whole purpose. You know, you have it when you can do that after you watch this. So tell me, were you inspired? And if so, what are you going to make? What stamp set are you going to use? I would love to know. Okay, that's kind of sweet. That's kind of sweet. All right, but I'm not done. I'm going to add a little bit of this good stuff here. This is just, I have some of this glitter glue. And so I'm going to pop this on. And as it dries, it will dry flat, but it will give it just a little bit of shine. So it'll be cute. Okay. All right, so from that stamp set, the Humble Home stamp set matching punch, I was able to get 1, 2, I have to finish it, 3, 4 cards. 4 cards, okay? One thing I used, especially with this one, to figure out what my colors would be was this really cool color wheel. I encourage you to have a color coach. You can pick them up pretty much anywhere. This is from Stampin' Up. It's made with their colors on it, and it just helps me match. And so I was using, it was the, gosh, I forgot. It was like, I wanted to use this color combo, and I was able to do it on that. So it really helped. But anyway, lots of things you can do. You can mask, you can use it to pop things out, you can just use the stamp set itself, you can use it for other things, you know, different, like this. You wouldn't even know that this came from this set, right? All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I know that it was long, and I'm not really going to apologize for that, because you can fast forward, of course, if you don't want to see something. But a lot of you guys do like to see it from the complete process. And honestly, I just don't have the time anymore to sit down and edit the videos like I used to be able to do. So this works for me just to go ahead and do it like this. And then these are these cute little, I love this one. This might be my favorite one. I still got to finish it. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my Stampin' Up link in the description box if you're interested in any of this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Make sure that you like this if you enjoyed it. I am no longer monetized. But I would like to get that back, but we'll see. I've missed you guys, and I will hopefully start to do a weekly video once again. Now that my master's is done, my certification is good until I retire, I have time again, and I'm settled into my home, and I'm an empty nester. So I hope to get back into this and start to play a lot more. Until next time, happy crafting.